Good evening and welcome to Meaningful Monday for the start of 2022. So this is a recording and it's for the 3rd of January 2022. So first and foremost, I'd like to say a very, very happy, blessed and prosperous, successful, healthy year is my wish for you. And may 2022 be a year of significant personal growth. I'm not going to wish you anything that's good luckish or just perfect results. I'm going to wish you a year of personal growth. And the reason I say that is John Maxwell, who's one of my mentors, always says, the only guarantee that we have that tomorrow will be better than today is if we're growing. So I wish you a year of significant growth for 2022. And that's the way that you really will, under any conditions or circumstances, make it a really good year for yourself. So for anyone who's new and hasn't been to Meaningful Monday before, attended them before, this is really just a free webinar I do on the first Monday of every month. And its purpose is, in the title, Meaningful, to discuss something meaningful with you, just to really raise awareness. And the most important thing I want to help people understand is that you do create your own reality. And we do that whether we are aware of it or not. We are all creating our own reality. So for those who may not have that awareness, this is the purpose of Meaningful Monday. And for those of you who have the awareness that you do create your own reality, then the lessons are to just keep fine-tuning and tweaking how we use our mind in a powerful and purposeful way to intentionally and deliberately create the life that we want. So that's it from me, and I'm very, very excited to share this lesson tonight, which I think is so important. I cannot express it strongly enough. I've taken some simple yet profound lessons from the most amazing personal development book of all time, in my view, which is the book of Think and Grow Rich. So you can see this old copy of mine is actually falling apart. It's got pieces of the book that literally break away. So this is falling apart. I'm very happy to announce that I've actually been gifted by Nancy a brand new copy of the original text in beautiful leather-bound copy here, which I'm very excited to share. So why I've chosen this as the first lesson for Meaningful Monday for 2022 is that I first did a mastermind on Think and Grow Rich way back, I think it was in 2013, with my mentor. And it really did start to change me in quite a significant way. Now, I already had the knowledge of the Silver Method. As you know, I'm the Silver Method trainer in Australia. If you do not know, then now you do. And that's a personal development program which uses the power of the mind in a very specific way to create the results that we want. And we use visualization, mental rehearsal, guided imagery, techniques like that. And I already had that awareness. But in 2013, when I did Think and Grow Rich, what I really loved about the book is that there's a secret in the book. And it's written that way to create intrigue, to draw the reader throughout the entire book, the entire time searching for what that secret is, because the author doesn't tell you. He says there's a secret, then he says that there's a secret mentioned in every chapter, then he says in some chapters it's mentioned, repeatedly or more than once. So the whole time that you read the book, your mind is in that searching kind of mode. And that was the one thing. So when I eventually got what the secret was, the epiphany that it had for me was quite profound, that it was really, really a simple thing, but had the ability to change my life. And I just want to say, I'm not going to brag or anything. I'm not going to give you too many details, but I'll tell you this. Think and Grow Rich absolutely, without a doubt, did change my financial results. My investment portfolio, since I started practicing Think and Grow Rich, has only improved year after year after year. And there was even a time, there's a video, you might find that if you look for it on Facebook, my business account, where I shared a story a couple of years ago of me having to come up with some extra money because I support my mother, and I didn't want to keep on having to concern myself, month in and month out. Do I have the money? How is it? I just wanted to have money coming in that took care of that. And I used Think and Grow Rich to solve that problem And it led me to the decision to buy a specific investment property that in the very outset looked like there were things standing in my way. But because of certain chapters in the book, I'm specifically referring to the chapter on persistence now and burning desire. So desire is a chapter, persistence is a chapter, and being in a mastermind at that time, it got my attention on how I was dealing with an obstacle that came up. I actually had several obstacles come up, and how I dealt with them. I was this close to saying, oh, maybe it's not meant for me. Oh, maybe it's a sign that I should, step away and, whatever it was, which is what many people say, including myself, have said in the past when things don't work out. But there I was reading the chapter on persistence one night, and it actually said to me, are you the kind of person who gives up at the first sign of defeat, or do you fight obstacles, with persistence and determination? I thought to myself, I'm just about to throw in the towel. Maybe I'm meant to learn the lesson on persistence, and this is the time, this very night, while I was reading this chapter. Anyway, to cut a long story short, it was 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night, and there and then I picked up the phone, called my broker, 8 o'clock at night, and said to him, I know we've had issues with the loan documents, we've had issues with the valuations going wrong. Whatever it takes, I have to have this property. And I took a different approach that night, and it was a result of Think and Grow Rich. And I do today have that property, and I have to say it's the best cash flow positive property in my entire portfolio. And by the time it settled and got rented, it actually delivered 3 times the actual amount I had worked out in my head initially when I thought this is going to help me cover the expense for my mother. So that's just one story. But the point that I want to make is Think and Grow Rich is a book that is timeless, really. If it was published in 1937, it sold over 70 million copies, and still to this day is read by millions of people because it is still so valuable. However, even though millions have read it, not millions have changed the results or become rich or whatever it is that they wanted to accomplish. And why is that? Well, the main reason is, just like me, I read Think and Grow Rich way before I had my first mastermind with my mentor. And my results didn't change because I picked the book and I read it like you read a book, turn the page, got from the beginning to the end, and nothing had changed. But when I did the mastermind with my mentor, literally we opened it on the very first page, the contents page, and read every single word. Throughout every chapter, read every single word, discussed every line in a mastermind setting, and it was so different. The depth of learning was completely different. So after doing this as a mastermind for many years now with several groups, I wanted to share just a couple of really powerful lessons from the book with you. And the thing is, these lessons are really simple. That's what the title of tonight is. They're simple, yet profound. I don't mean that they're profound in their understanding or the knowledge of them. I'm saying they're profound in the application of them. And simple, simple to understand. Easy to apply? I don't know. That's on you. That's entirely up to you. That's why I say millions have read this book, but not millions have become rich, because they have not applied what the author, Napoleon Hill, is asking a person to do. He even says that you're going to read over this particular instruction I give you, and if you pass to the next page and don't apply the instruction I give you, you will not succeed in this formula. Now, there is a formula in the book, and the book tells you guaranteed, and he uses that word, absolutely guaranteed, to accomplish or achieve whatever it is that you want if you apply the formula to a T. So I'm just sharing that with you. If you've read this book and haven't changed your results or got this dream, whatever it is, or goal accomplished yet, I like that word, yet, it's probably because there are things that have been instructed in this book that you potentially haven't applied. But if you do, it's guaranteed that you will get the object of your desire. All right, so let's jump into the lesson tonight. I'm excited to share what I have to share with you. And I just want to start off with a couple of questions, thinking about yourself here. Everyone is unique. Do you agree? You are unique. I'm unique. Everyone is unique. The other thing that's important is no one walking this planet has achieved their full potential. you have enormous potential. In fact, Abraham Maslow proved that your potential is unlimited. That means if you do what it takes to unlock more of your potential, there is no ceiling to what you can achieve. You're just going to grow and improve and grow and improve. And there's no end, there is no limit to what you can achieve for yourself in your life. That's why I wish you 2022 a year of growth. And then I just want to also remind you that, as John Maxwell says, if you want a better tomorrow, the only guarantee you have is that you are growing today. So, growing today is great. It is absolute assurance that you will get a return on that growth, on that investment of time. If it's investment of money, maybe, and time, you will get a return. You always will. So if you just look at personal growth on a Google search, you'll probably get about 45 million entries. And there's no way that anyone can cover every aspect of personal growth. And the one thing I found about Think and Grow Rich is, even though I've studied this book time and time again, and certain chapters I've read really probably close to 100 times, certain chapters, my depth of learning has never ever ended. I've never reached the end of the learning from this book, because Think and Grow Rich is about 13 principles, and at the end I'll show you a summary of them. And when you repeatedly study the book, these 13 principles are individual initially, and you're learning these concepts and these ideas. And when you repeat and repeat and repeat studying the book, one day, like maybe the third time you study it, they click together and they form one philosophy. And once you've got the philosophy, it becomes actually a way of life. And once you live that way, you have a different way of thinking and a different way of approaching anything that you want to achieve in life. And you have the formula, which is what he calls the secret in the book. So, as I said, I think this is the most important personal development book of all time. But let's see what's in store for us as we go through. All right, so first of all, I'd like to just clarify the definition of rich. So when it says Think and Grow Rich, many people think, oh, this book is all about making millions and millions of bucks in money terms. Well, it can be, and that's how the author gets people actually to originally buy the book. If you think of when it was written, it was just after the time of the Great Depression, and all people wanted was a way to know how to actually become money rich. But when you go through the book, this is more a spiritual book than it is a book about creating financial wealth. Financial wealth is a consequence of the growth. So the first thing the book teaches us is how to think differently. That's why it's called Think. There's a way you think. It's in the secret. It's in the formula. It's throughout the book. There's a way to think. And if you keep doing that, you will grow personally. And when you grow, everything in your life changes. And with growth, as I said, you'll get a return on that growth, and you will become richer in every aspect of your life. But it's not just money rich. Money rich will happen, but it'll be a consequence of your growth. So just to define rich, 12 things which constitute real riches. The first one is a positive mental attitude. That is a big deal, I have to say. It's a very big deal. They say that with 70,000 thoughts we have a day, that over 80 to 86% of them are negative by default. So we are actually almost as a default setting negative thinkers. We worry, we have doubt, we have fear, we have indecision more often than we have an absolute faith that things are going to work out and a positive mental attitude. So one outcome of Think and Grow Rich is such fine-tuning and continuous application of certain principles that actually help you create a positive mental attitude. The next one is sound physical health. What does it help to have money riches if you have poor health? And what does poor health come from? It comes from poor thinking. Everything. That's why I said Meaningful Monday is about creating the awareness that you do create your own reality. And I know this may not be easy to accept by some people, or want to actually believe by some people, that really, is it my thinking, if you're not well, that you caused the problem in your body? I'm not here to make you feel bad or feel guilty if this is you. just to raise the awareness that really our thoughts absolutely are related, and the root cause, most often, if not always, of our physical health. So disease comes from the word dis-ease. We've got some emotional thing going on that we're not addressing, and it goes on and on and on and on for a long period of time. That's what chronic illness is. That's what it is. So physical health is definitely rich. The next one is great relationships. Harmony in your relationships. Number 4 is huge. The freedom from fear. You know, fear is the worst of all our enemies. There is no enemy worse than fear, because it holds you back from living your best life. And if you want to be successful, you need to know how to overcome fear, especially in this time. This whole pandemic thing and the media and all the narrative out there, what has it done? It's put the majority of the world into a state of fear. Well, if you want to be successful, regardless of the economy, the times, pandemic, if you want to be successful, you need to overcome fear. You have to conquer it. You have to know how to live without fear. And to be free of fear, the book gives you a way to do that. In fact, the very last chapter is about outwitting the 6 ghosts of fear. So he finishes the book and he adds an extra chapter at the end, the author, about overcoming the major fears, the 6 fears that we have. The next one is hope. You know, the hope of future achievement. We've got to have that hope. We cannot give up. We need to be optimistic and hopeful about a better future, and we're going to actually achieve it. And how we do that, we have faith. And that's the next one, the capacity for applied faith. Why applied? It was up to us to actually cultivate faith and apply it into our life and live that way. So it's up to us. And then the willingness to share one's blessings with others. How beautiful is that? And how necessary is that? It's called the benefit extension factor. Of course, if you achieve more in your life and you are better, you are healthier, you are happier, you're more joyous, more abundant, more prosperous, you must share that with others. Otherwise, what's the purpose? What's the point? So that's also a requirement for continuously receiving riches, is to bless others with the blessings that you've received. You know, what you sow, you shall reap. And it's the law of receiving, is to give first. Then number 8, to engage in a labor of love. You got to love what you do. And if you don't, again, you need to create your own reality and take new decisions and new actions to come to live your best life. No one else can do it for you. And you do owe it to yourself to live your best life. So if you are in any occupation or career where you're not happy, my real strong advice is, don't settle and just sit there. Take action, make new decisions, and find the right thing for you. And in Think and Grow Rich, with a formula that's in the book, you can apply to anything, even if it's that. It might not be, I want to make X amount of money. It might be, I want to find something that I absolutely love to do, that fulfills me when I do it and makes me feel alive every day doing it. And that's what you want. You can create that. Absolutely you can. And so you should. The next one is an open mind on all subjects towards all people. Absolutely. Number 10, complete self-discipline. This book is so much about mental discipline, because without mental discipline, your mind will be all over the place and literally controlling you. We have to take control of our own minds, and that's how we create our own reality. So complete self-discipline. And it doesn't happen in one fell swoop, bit by bit. If you apply a bit every day, a little bit more, over time, you'll develop self-discipline the same way as anybody going to gym will build a muscle. Number 11, the wisdom with which to understand people. Definitely. And also more than that, it's not just wisdom, it's even intuition. And last of all, which is really what we understand when we think about Think and Grow Rich, it's got to relate to money. Absolutely it does. But as I said, money, riches become a consequence of the growth. And the growth, my friends, thank goodness, is usually lasting a lifetime. So you make the investment and you learn and you grow and you get the benefit for a lifetime. Of course, we can have turns in our life and we can slip back, But if you've been there once and you've been successful and you've had the personal growth and you've made changes and your life has improved, you have a reference point that if ever your life goes in a wrong direction again, you just go back and you pick up the tools again, and you just get back on track and steer your life in the right direction. That's why Napoleon Hill actually says that you should never, ever, ever stop studying this book. So if you listen to people like Bob Proctor, you will hear him say that the two books that he reads every single day is Think and Grow Rich and As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. But why this one? Because you can never stop learning from this book, and you need to keep reinforcing these thoughts and ideas and philosophies and principles into the mind to keep yourself on track. So financial security, making money riches, definitely. And the great thing about growth is that when you grow spiritually, because this book is a spiritual book, there's no doubt, it refers to spiritual principles throughout the book, more and more and more so. There's a chapter even on faith in there, and talks about infinite intelligence, God, whatever name you want to give it, and how we can only create by having a connection with that infinite source, and how we rely on our sixth sense to get ideas and so on in the book. And as we do that growth part, your financial situation does improve. The great thing about it is when it does improve, you don't need it as much because you've evolved from this mentality of lack where I have to have it, I don't have enough, to a mindset of abundance where it just flows into your life. It becomes more and more effortless, that riches are attracted to you. And then your mind is really about being generous and giving. So we actually cover that off as well in the mastermind through something called the 7 levels of character, but that's something else I'll share with you later. All right, it says all achievement, all earned riches have their beginning in an idea. So I'll talk more about that as we go along. All right, so the famous line from Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich is, what the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So the first thing about conceiving is you need to become clear as to what it is that you want. And when you become clear as to what you want, then you create an image that you can hold in your mind, that you can focus on, that you can quantify, that you can clarify, that you could write out like that if you had to. And that's the very first step of manifesting anything, is to have that clarity and that picture in your mind. And that's what it means when it says what the mind of man can conceive. So first you need to conceive it. And part of that is actually using the imagination. And imagination, by the way, in the book Think and Grow Rich is one of the chapters. And we do need to have imagination in order for us to ever create a better future. If you are not well and you want to be more healthy, you've got to use your imagination to first conceive yourself as being more healthy before you can be that. If it's more money that you want, you first got to use your imagination to conceive yourself as more wealthy. How are you living? What are you doing with the money? How much is it? What's different in your life? How is it better? Once you can conceive that, you've used your imagination. And once you conceive that, with repetition and certain principles that are in the book, you can create a new belief that that future you is you. And to create that new belief, which says what the mind can conceive and believe, you've got to create that belief. And the way that you create that belief is through something, a principle called auto-suggestion. It's one of the chapters in the book. It's so powerful. It's the shortest chapter in the book, but probably one of the most important chapters. Why? Because anyone can do it. Anyone can use auto-suggestion to create a new belief of what it is they clearly want and can conceive. And once you've created that belief, you manifest that into your life. Absolutely, you achieve that thing. And that's what the whole philosophy of the book is. And why I love it is it's in your hands. Create the life of your own design. It's in your hands. And if you're a graduate of the Silver Method, man, oh man, you'll love this book because we've got other tools in the Silver Method that we use through visualization to even add and compound to the instructions given by Napoleon Hill. If you're not a silver graduate, that's okay. This book says you guarantee to achieve what it is that you want. Just follow the instructions. And that's what was different for me about the mastermind. I didn't apply things the way Napoleon Hill said, and I was probably, to be honest and to be humble and vulnerable with you, it was probably because it was a level of arrogance. I'd read something, Napoleon Hill says, you need to do this every night, read this thing out loud, or, go back to that other chapter and read this again before you continue with the book. And I go, oh yeah, okay, now turn the page. I didn't actually do what he was asking me to do, thinking, that's okay, not for me. Like, that's a form of arrogance. And what you need to have with Think and Grow Rich is a spirit of humility and a teachable spirit, and pick it up as a child just wanting to learn with a teachable spirit. And with that, you will absolutely grow, and you will grow in an amazing way, and you will see the results in your life change, and they'll change pretty quickly. And even your mindset becoming more positive will have an influence on every area of your life. Okay, so the simple, profound lessons I'm going to talk about in Think and Grow Rich, I've chosen a couple. I've chosen about 7. The first one is that thoughts are powerful things. And you've probably heard this from many personal development teachers on the planet. It's not from me, you're going to hear this the first time. But it's important to remind you that thoughts do become things. And the first step of anything in any achievement starts with a thought. Napoleon Hill argues that thinking is more conducive to success than any other feature. Thinking is more important when it comes to success than money, than education, than specific knowledge about absolutely anything. So he says, the man that thinks he can accomplish something is already a step towards the finish line. But thinking in itself is too much of a general term. And Napoleon Hill translates thinking as a mixture of initiative, faith, a willingness to win, and resilience. Resilience, that again comes to that persistence element that I spoke about. So failure also needs to be taken into consideration when we want to achieve success. And that sounds a bit contradictory, but failure does need to be taken into consideration, because you need to understand that failure is actually a necessary part of the learning process as we go towards success. It's going to happen. You're going to have failures. Everyone does. If we know that failure is part of the process, we don't treat it the same way, like, oh, I don't want to fail and don't want to make mistakes, and resist it, avoid it, try and step aside of it, don't do things in case we fail. No, we've got to say, listen, this is part of the learning, and it's necessary to make me learn faster, more, and quicker. So we're actually open to failure being part of the learning process, and it's the only way we get closer to our end goal. But we have to take failure the right way, and there is a right way and there is a wrong way, and you probably know that, how you deal with failure. So also being clear about your goal, as I said, helps the way we think about it, create it. If we're unclear, we think about it in an unclear way, and it's not going to be able to manifest what we want, because there is no clear picture. George Harrison said, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So we do need to know what it is that we want. And once we have that, we have the ability to move forward and create it more specifically and with clarity. I love this quote because this is very, very true. You either control your mind or it controls you. And that's about thoughts. But it also applies to emotions, and that is even more important. Either you control your emotions, and that's when you create your own reality, and that's when you actually create a better life for yourself. When I use the term create the life of your own design, it's being able to control and manage your emotions. Think about people that you know, maybe it's yourself, maybe it's someone else, who is not very good at managing or controlling their emotions. See how life tosses them around, blows them from pillar to post. It is absolutely important. And this book shows a person how to do that. And it's really important. If you want to think about yourself and your success, just remember this, that either you control your emotions or your emotions control you. And which emotion am I talking about that's the biggest problem? It's the emotion of fear. And if it's not the emotion of fear, it's the emotion of greed. Greed is the reversal of fear. It's got an element of lack in there, you know, that feeling that you're short of something and you've got to have it, almost like this urge. Those are not positive emotions. Those are not emotions to create abundance. So that's why the book deals at the very, very end with fear. I think if the author put that chapter anywhere earlier, the person would toss the book in the bin because it's quite confrontational. But that was one of the biggest lessons for me in studying this book. I put the Silver Method Mind Control book there because as a trainer of the Silver Method, I mean, I've been using it now for 12 years. It absolutely changed my life. But look at the title of the original program's title was the Silver Mind Control Method. It was about learning to control your mind, and it still is. The program today is called Silver Life and Intuition System, the 4-day program. It's all about controlling your thoughts, controlling the images you see in your mind. When Napoleon Hill says what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, what we conceive, the Silver Method is about controlling that we're conceiving in a very specific way. And the more we practice, the better we get, the better we get. And the more you can control your life, the easier it is for you to create it. Now, I'm going to just read the poem. That's a very short version. I'm going to just read it out of the actual book. And just listen to the words. Try not to read the screen so don't get confused. But this is one of the most true poems, wonderful words ever written. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't, it's almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you lost. For out of the world we find, success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but soon or late, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. I love that because that's from the book itself, by the way. They're the most true words. Whether you, as Ford said, whether you think you can or think you can't, either way you'll be right. This is why thinking is the first principle I wanted to share with you, and why the book's title is Think and Grow. Rich is the result. Think. And this is important. People are not even aware of how negatively they think. They are not even aware of the incredible negative self-talk. How many times you doubt yourself, talk yourself out of something that you want, change your mind, look at a fantastic opportunity and say, oh, it's a bit expensive, and you don't go for it when that specific thing can change your entire future, make your life way better, and you say, oh, you know, I don't know, I haven't got the money, or I'm not worth it, or I'm too busy, or I haven't got the time, or, you know, it's not going to work for me. Those are just negative self-talk and self-doubtful ideas. They're not true. So it really is important how we think. All I can say is make an effort to be more and more aware of how you think and continuously encourage yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in your ability to grow, become a better person to make your future better. The only way your future can be better is if you become better. They say life isn't what you want, it's who you are. It's a reflection of who you are. This was the chapter that I spoke about that was one thing that changed my life. And even though I read that chapter on persistence, I don't know, that story that I told you about that property, I must have read the chapter at that stage maybe 45 times on persistence, and I probably didn't learn the lesson until that night when I was reading it, and it jumped out at me because I was having all these issues, as I said, getting the loan because of the mistakes that were made on the valuation things that weren't anything that had to do with me, they were just happening. And I could say, oh, I could blame this. And then it hit me. You're going to win or quit. Pick a side, Janine. Pick a side. And it's the same for you in your life. If you want to win, there is no option, but you can never give up. If you want to win, you cannot quit. It's either this or it's that, but you cannot have both. You can't try, not succeed and then give up and still want that thing. It does not work that way. You know that as much as I know that. So don't give up is really important. And the way Napoleon Hill writes in the book, he says, winners never quit. Never. And quitters never win. So if you want to be a winner, you too can never quit. If you've done 10 personal development programs and haven't got your dream yet, you've got to keep going. If you've got to do 10 more and you still don't have your dream come true, you've got to keep going. It is that way. But the truth of the matter is, if you do personal growth and persist and never quit, you will achieve. Absolutely, you will. Think of your own life and look back at the things that you have succeeded in. It comes from persistence and not giving up on that thing. I love the story of Thomas Edison with the light bulb, where he doesn't say that he failed. He says, I found 10,000 ways that won't work. So pursuing a goal of value is going to have moments where you will make mistakes, where you will make wrong decisions, where you will have failures. The key is to actually expect and prepare for failure. And I don't mean expect failure that you've got a negative mindset and you think, oh, it's going to fail, it's going to fail. Not that way to expect failure. I mean to expect failure and prepare for it in the way that you are open, knowing it may happen. It's likely that it's going to happen if I just keep trying new things and doing things towards my goal. But you are okay if and when it happens, because you're going to learn from that. And you're going to turn that failure into a stepping stone of growth to make you better, your character better, your level of resilience stronger and better, so that you can actually be ready to turn any failure into a powerful lesson for you to improve you, so that your results in the future can get better and better. So you see it as a stepping stone to success. And if something doesn't go right with the plan that you had, what does that mean? It means change the plan. Don't change the goal, change the plan. Never give up on that goal. Just change the plan. The other thing Napoleon Hill stresses and mentions in the book with emphasis is all failure is temporary. If you can just remember that, you will just have so much less fear. And it's true. And the other thing he says is this wonderful quote, one of my favorite quotes of my life, which is, within every temporary defeat lies the seed of an equivalent advantage. Equivalent. Within every temporary defeat. So first of all, defeat is temporary. And second, it has an equivalent success seed lying right in there. All you need to do is get the lesson, apply it, and you'll have the equivalent advantage of something going right for you in your life. And failure, Napoleon Hill mentions failure and indicates that failure is simply a lesson in what not to do. I love that. So it's like a door closes, it's guidance. Another door closes, it's guidance, like what not to do. Just try a different approach. And then there is such a thing as a successful failure. That may, sound bizarre, but there is such a thing as a successful failure. Here are some traits of such a person. The first one is optimism. That means that you find the benefit in every bad experience. What can I learn from this? Whenever something goes wrong. And remember that optimism is a choice. Pessimism is a choice. Optimism is a choice. And it does result in higher motivation. If you choose to be optimistic, you will have more motivation and you'll have a stronger character. The second trait of a person who's a successful failure is a person who takes full responsibility. They accept responsibility for everything in their life and don't blame anyone or anything. I love that, and it's a bit hard for some people. all I can say is people who are higher achievers take more responsibility than people who are not, because people who don't, they blame. So if you blame, you make yourself the victim and you give all your power away to that thing or that circumstance or that person because it's them that caused it. If you turn that whole formula or that whole viewpoint around and say, no, I'm responsible, the power is sitting with you. So accepting responsibility is really key to success. And if you blame someone else, you're cheating yourself out of the learning lesson that's there for you. And the other trait of a person who's a successful failure is a person who has initiative. This was a big thing for me. I did a profile test many years ago. I don't know what test it was, but it came up that one of the areas of development for me is to use more initiative. When I heard that, I thought, yeah, it's true. So think about that for you. Can you use more initiative on whatever's going on in your life right now? Just more initiative. Just do it. Think of every day, what more initiative can I use today? It will help you take more action. It will help you face your fears, because when we don't take initiative, we are scared. I speak for myself. That's how it is for me. Here's a lovely quote by Napoleon Hill. When defeat comes, accept it as a signal that your plans are not sound. Rebuild those plans and set sail once more towards your coveted goal. So change the plan, don't change the goal. And if you give up before your goal is reached, you're a quitter. As I said, a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. Number 3, our minds receive ideas from the universe. So what does that mean for you? What do you call it? How do you term this thing of ideas? Well, I want you, if you're making notes, please write this down. An idea is the first manifestation. When you want a goal and you get an idea of something, that idea is taking you towards your goal. So what you need to become more aware of is that the universe is giving you ideas all the time. Now you can call that intuition, you can call that your sixth sense, you can just call that an innovative idea. But where do these ideas come from, especially when they are new and they are light bulb moments? They come from the universe. They come towards you because you are in a certain state of vibration where you can attract things into your life. And often the thing that we attract isn't the exact opportunity or the exact immediate result. It's most often an idea. So Napoleon Hill in the book talks about the brain as a chapter. One of the chapters is the brain. Another chapter is the subconscious mind. And another chapter is the sixth sense. Now, when those 3 chapters are looked at and studied kind of together, I just love that part of the book because it helps a person understand that the mind is a sending and receiving station. Think about that. Your mind is a sending station. It pulses out something. It's a receiving station. That's where ideas come from. It receives ideas. According to what? According to the state of vibration that we're in. And what state of vibration are we in? Depends on what you're thinking. And more importantly, it depends on what you're feeling. So the one way that we can tune our minds towards the goal that we want is to have positive thinking and keep conceiving. Remember what the mind can do? Conceiving that goal that we want and almost create the feeling of having it already. What would it feel like if you had your goal achieved? That minute you have that feeling, you change your vibration. Now you're in a different state of vibration and you are going to attract into your life everything that's a vibrational match to that frequency. And that's often when the ideas come, which takes you to the next step towards achieving your goal. That's why keeping positive, resourceful thoughts in your mind is a very good and perfect way to be able to attract any high quality ideas so that you can implement them in your life and then obviously transform your life towards these riches or goals accomplished or whatever it may be. And that's why visualizing is so important. I thought I'd just add this diagram in. Many of you, if you've done any courses with me before, you've seen me teach the Stickman diagram. That's the Stickman right there. The big circle is the head. so much bigger than the body on purpose, because our mind controls all our behaviors. So let's have a look at this. If this top half was our conscious mind and the bottom half was our subconscious mind, well, what happens is your subconscious mind is your beliefs. Now remember, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So whatever you believe is your beliefs and your habits are in your subconscious mind at the bottom here. And this is going to attract things into your life. So if you're going to think positively about your dream, your goal, or visualize, like using the silver method, or use the formula in the book of Think and Grow Rich, the more you have your mind onto the goal, you kind of magnetize your mind. And then what happens is you're in a different state of vibration. You're in a higher vibration. Let's say you're earning $100,000 a year. You want to make $500,000 a year, whatever it is. When you think about the higher number, you raise your vibration to that. And as you imagine it, feel it, dream of it, conceive it, use the formula in the book to induce that into a new belief, you're going to attract things of that higher vibration, that money level. And that's where ideas come. So thought energy is coming into your mind from the universe. These thoughts are an idea. Then you think about the idea long enough and you get serious about it, and then you actually impress it through emotion into the subconscious mind. Once you mix that idea with emotion, imagine having that, imagine doing that, it will change your state of vibration. So ideas cause emotion, and that emotion alters your state of vibration. And that vibration is what I said, you are becoming a magnet, and everything is a vibrational match. So you attract into your life the conditions, the circumstances, the environment, the people to make that thing happen for you. So that's the one way we attract into our life these conditions, circumstances, and environment. Also, we start acting differently with that. Our actions also give us results. And as we know in physics, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So you take a step and the universe takes a step towards you. For every action creates a reaction, which again alters your results. And this, my friends, is how you think and grow rich. And then just a reminder that these ideas that pop in your head from the universe are your first manifestation. The other most important chapter in this book, chapter 1, is the chapter on desire. Why? Because you really need to want the thing that you're trying to create. People who have a weak desire, they don't really get what they want. And then they say, oh, it wasn't really for me, or not meant to happen, or all these cliches. Where the truth is, if you really want something, it's up to you to create that level of desire. You can't expect it to be automatic and then think to yourself, I don't have a lot of desire for this goal. Maybe it's not the right goal for me. No way. Decide what it is that you want, and then you create the desire. Anyone can create more desire. The book itself says a small amount of fire causes a small amount of heat. If you want more fire, put more wood there, put more oil there, put whatever you need there to create that stronger burning desire. And Napoleon Hill says, for you to achieve a dream, you need to have a burning desire to accomplish it. You need to be in a position where you will do whatever it takes to achieve it. So think about your life right now. What's the one goal you'd love? And make it a money goal just because you can measure that. Think about that one thing. The question I have, once you come up with that, whatever that number is for you, how badly do you want it? You have to want it to create it. Some people think, oh, is it right? Is it right? Maybe it's not a good thing to want more money. Sweetheart, all I can say is, how can it be wrong to want more money? This entire universe is a universe of abundance. God is abundant. Look at nature. It's abundant. Just look at grass. It's abundant. Trees, leaves. It's abundant. Air. Whatever it is, the gold that we mine out of all corners of the earth, there's never a shortage. It keeps being created. Everything is in abundance. So for you too, that's prosperity. Abundance everywhere and for you too. That's prosperity. So if you want more money, any idea that causes guilt or shame comes from negative programming. That's all I can say. But it absolutely isn't in harmony with your creator. Your creator is abundant. You deserve abundance. You deserve to have all the goodness in life, for life to be wonderful and fun and happy and glorious for you. Not a life of struggle. There is no nobility in struggle. And if you think there is, I will question your beliefs, because they're probably on a false premise from negative programming that you probably heard somewhere in your childhood between 0 and 7. So coming back to your goal, you've got to have desire and you've got to want it. So how badly do you want it? You've got to create that want. And how do you do that? You ask yourself, why? Why do I want that more money? Why? Well, because this, because this, because this. The more becauses you can get on a list, the greater your desire will become. I did that. I wrote out 4 foolscap pages. I was on a course. I said, well, you want desire? Write 100 statements as to why you want it, or more, 120 if you can. If you did that, your desire would go way up. And if you ever felt your desire waning, go back and read those statements. It will help to increase your desire. So thoughts and action are linked together through desire. You have a thought, I want to have this. You've got to take action, which comes from ideas and, taking action. Well, to get those two to connect is burning desire. There's no desire, there's probably no impetus to act. You need to act. And, if you think about people like Columbus, who dreamt of an unknown shore, or the Wright brothers imagined a machine that could fly in the air, or Henry Ford, imagined a carriage without horses. These people had something in common. The first was they were resilient and they were able to overcome failure after failure after failure. Every one of them had massive amounts of failures, but they persisted. The other thing was they didn't care what other people think. That's in the last chapter of the book about fear. If you've got fear of criticism or fear of what other people think, you worry, you care what other people think, it's going to stand in your way. You have to get rid of that. You have to get rid of that fear completely. The other thing they had was a clear vision. They knew what they wanted, and that was in their mind all the time. And then, of course, a burning desire for that clear vision, a burning desire for that thing to manifest. And that's what inevitably led to their success. So the book also talks about burning the bridges that hold you to your past. And I remember doing Think and Grow Rich back in 2013. I did it again as a mastermind in 2014. I've done it every year, to be honest, since then till now, sometimes multiple times a year. And I remember the burning bridges thing. When I left corporate to work on my own, I, for a long time, kept having the thought and conviction in my mind that when I leave, I'm burning those bridges. Because if a person doesn't burn the bridges, you might not succeed because you're going to retreat. You have to tell yourself, I'm burning those bridges behind me and I'm going towards that future. I'm not going back there. If you've struggled, lost money, been made redundant, struggled, I don't know, whatever it is, and you say, well, I've got a new goal, I'm going to use Think and Grow Rich to create it, then burn the bridges to that past. Never think about going back there. You've got to say, I'm drawing a line in the sand, and this is the last time I'm ever going to be in a place of struggle like this again. For me, it was, this is the last time I'm ever going to be at the mercy of an employer. I thought that was security until I'd left. I struggled with that. I was terrified to leave corporate and do my own thing. But once I made the transition, it was a lot of work. It was a long story, and I'm not going to go into that now. But I had to work on my mind all the time. That's how I did it. But I also burnt the bridges behind me. And because of burning the bridges, your desire to succeed goes way up. And that's what you need. So I'm mentioning that in the point about desire because they are linked. It's that commitment level that you need. You can't have excuses and results. You choose one or the other. You want to make excuses about why things aren't working? I'm sorry, you're going to keep yourself back from the result that you want. Don't make excuses. Take responsibility. Work on yourself. Invest in yourself. Grow, grow, grow. Pick up personal development books. Read them over and over. If Think and Grow Rich didn't work for you before, pick up the book and study it. Apply everything and every instruction the author says and say, for me, it's going to work this time. Some people say, oh, the book works but doesn't work for me. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. If you applied it the way the author says to you, apply it, it will work for you or anyone. For anyone it hasn't worked for, they haven't applied it. That's all I can say. And no one's been able to prove Napoleon Hill wrong. For all those years, from 1937 to now, no one has said, I've applied it exactly as the formula said and didn't get what I want. No one. If you did that, you would get what you wanted. So, important point. The next one is, it's the desire that transforms the dreams into reality. And it really is. If anyone thinks about desire of something, whatever it was, if it was a person that you fell in love with, or something that you really wanted to buy for yourself, or anything, you know, when you have strong desire, you go after that thing until you get it. And the more you ask from life, the more you will receive from life. The more you ask from life, the more you will receive from life. So don't stop asking. Ask. The starting point of all achievement is desire. He says, keep this constantly in mind. Weak desire brings weak results, just as a small amount of fire makes a small amount of heat. And who's responsible for creating your desire? You. Some people say, it must be the goal. The goal's probably not right for me. It's not about the goal. It's about your level of desire for the goal. And how much do you really want it? That's the question. The next principle is have faith. Now, this is one of my favorite chapters in Think and Grow Rich, is the chapter on faith. It also has a self-confidence formula in there. A self-confidence formula. And I'm telling you, when you read that, you feel confident the very first time you're reading that. And think of his instructions on how to apply that self-confidence formula every day. It will change you. I can tell you that there's a big gap between successful and unsuccessful people, and often that gap is self-confidence. Self-confidence plays a major role in children's success at school, adult success in business, people trying to get something they really, really want and failing, not getting up and doing it again, giving up, lack of persistence. It often is tied to confidence. So confidence is really important. When it comes to faith, faith is just belief with total conviction. Total conviction. And Napoleon Hill says that it's an absolute certainty with no fear, apprehension, or hesitation that you will achieve exactly what you desire if you have that faith. So you've got to know that you're going to encounter obstacles. We've spoken about this. You're going to experience doubt. You're going to experience disbelief. You're going to experience disbelief from your family or from your friends or people close to you. And their doubts might start eating at you and cause you to lose faith in yourself. This is where you have to have self-confidence and believe in yourself. So faith is about faith in you, faith in yourself, and faith in a power greater than you. And that's really important. When we have faith in infinite intelligence or God, whatever name you want to make it for yourself, or source energy, you actually draw on that power. You start to rely on that power, and it plays into your life more and more. And that's why I say Think and Grow Rich is a very spiritual book. There's so much of the book that helps a person develop a connection with God, with infinite intelligence, and view it as part of you, the life you want to create, part of being a part of the whole, a part of one, the universe, all one, God, and how everything is connected, and how you have access to that omnipotent power, how you are a powerful creator yourself, born in the likeness of your creator. And what is that likeness? The power to create. The only difference between the two is the measure of potency. You know, God is all powerful. You are powerful creator too. Just the volume, how much power, versatile power. So you can draw on that infinite power. The other thing is that, You need to have faith that is solid as a rock. And the book says faith is cultivated. It's a state of mind. Again, just like desire, it's on you. But the book tells you how to create faith. The other one is you need to continuously, which is in the formula of the book, continuously convince yourself that your goal is achievable. And why do we say that? Because, as I said before, most people talk themselves out of things. They have so much negative self-talk and so much self-doubt, you literally talk yourself out of something that you really want. Well, there's a chapter in the book which I spoke about earlier called autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is self-suggestion. Any thought that you repeat long enough with emotion and conviction, you will come to believe that thing. So when you really want to go from A to B, it's important that you convince yourself that your goal is achievable through repetition, repetition, repetition. Initially, it's like I have to bash this into my head. I'm struggling to believe it initially. But with repetition and conviction, slowly you just kind of merge from that, can I really do this? Never mind that thought, I'll just apply the instructions anyway, to the other side where I'm going to do this. I believe I can do this. Oh, yes. And then you start having this level of expectation or expectancy inside you that this is going to happen for you. And once you've made that switch across, that's where you've created the new belief. And the only way to create the new belief, as I said, is through auto-suggestion. And the book tells you exactly how. So the mind, so it says, if you believe something or have a specific end in mind, practice convincing your mind of the opportunity to realize that goal. And after a while, your mind will start to subconsciously act on behalf of your belief system. So in a nutshell, you become what you think about automatically. And that's how you create the riches. That's how the ideas from intuition and the sixth sense start to come to you through repetition. You've changed your state of mind until eventually that's where you're thinking. And now you start to believe. Now that's where you are. You start attracting to your life all the conditions, circumstances, people, and the ideas to get you there. And then it talks about in the chapter on faith also and throughout the book, purposefully avoid negative emotions. Avoid negative emotions and be really purposeful in having positive emotions and focusing your energy on positivity. Also, importance of writing your goals down. That's the clarity part, the conceiving part. And then repeating them day in and day out and promising yourself that you'll be relentless in the pursuit of that goal and you will never give up until you achieve it. All of that, can you see how it starts to kind of fit together now? The philosophy is starting to form on how it is that we create whatever it is that we want. Then also remember that if you do have a statement like an affirmation that you repeat to yourself over and over, half-heartedly repeating it is useless. It will do nothing. You need to repeat it with conviction. You need to repeat it with emotion, with conviction, almost like an incantation, not an affirmation. Visualize, feel it, put emotion into it, use your body, pump your fist. When you're doing that, you're really making impressions in the subconscious and changing your belief to the new belief. That's how you do it. And that's what you need to do to get a sense of having that goal already accomplished. You've got to actually believe it and feel what it feels like to have it already. And that's where the imagination comes in. But the more you do that, the more familiar it becomes. And I love this way of framing it up. You eventually create a memory of the future you. Because you've seen this picture so many times, you've felt the feelings of having it so many times, you now start to create a new version of you. And it's in here, but it becomes one with you. And the more you do that, the closer you get to achieving your goal. And of course, it requires imagination. Faith is so important because faith and fear make poor bedfellows. Where the one is found, the other cannot exist. So faith over fear. I actually have a t-shirt that says faith over fear. I remind myself whenever fear creeps in or doubt, I just bash it into my own mind Faith over fear. Have faith, Janine. However you need to cultivate more faith, you do whatever it takes. The sixth idea or lesson from the book that I really want to share is the Mastermind Alliance. One of the chapters in Think and Grow Rich, one of the 13 principles of the philosophy is actually the mastermind principle. Why? Well, because if you have a goal that's clear and you have the vision and you have the desire and you've got persistence and you've got faith and you've got the knowledge and you've got a plan and you're using your imagination all the time, well, what next? The next thing is you need to surround yourself with like-minded people who you can learn from, who you can share your knowledge and wisdom with, because as you give, so is it that you receive. It's in giving. And as you participate fully into a mastermind alliance with your knowledge and add value to the group, blessings come. It's the law of attraction. What you give, you get. It's the law of circulation. So the important thing about having a mastermind group are the absolute noteworthy insights and depth of learning that you get from the group that you could never get on your own. That's why I said I read Think and Grow Rich. I think I even read it twice. Never changed my results until I joined my first mastermind, because it was the depth of learning, the discussing it, the sharing it, debating it sometimes, questioning things, questioning things 5 different ways and having people discuss it. That's where it comes, as this combined effort of these multiple high performance minds that you engage with, that allows you to see different horizons or see things that you have planned for yourself in a different way. And the book says, Napoleon Hill says, once 2 or more minds get together, a third, way more powerful mind is created. One that can push itself way further than any individual could do on its own. That's interesting. It's written that way because even in the Bible it says, where 2 or more come together in my name, I'm there. And it says, where 2 or more minds come together, the third and most powerful mind becomes present. And that's where ideas start to flow. Wonderful, new, creative ideas. Think, wow, did I just say that? Like, you even surprise yourself. That often happens when 2 or more people who are like-minded come together to discuss something where we are very stimulated in our thinking. So the Mastermind Alliance, I just have to be clear, is not about outsourcing your idea and just, waiting for someone else to solve it for you, give you all the answers or a resolution just to come to you and then you just take credit when it succeeds. No, you have to do the work. You have to do the thinking. You have to take full responsibility for your efforts, for your controlling of your mind and your positivity, for your contribution that you make to the mastermind, for you applying the principle in the book. But when you get together in an alliance and share, it makes you stronger. Every person development guru says, surround yourself with people who can support you. So I love that principle, and it is a principle of the book. So if you want to make Think and Grow Rich in your life a success, which I recommend, then, join the mastermind. Then the last one I want to share with you is decision maker or procrastinator. When it comes to your dream, which one are you? Are you a decision maker? Yes. If you are, great. Then you're not a procrastinator. Now, if you're not sure if you're a decision maker or a good one or a decisive one, you know that you're probably a procrastinator. Now, to get your dream, you cannot be a procrastinator. You need to become a person who makes a decision and takes action. So Napoleon Hill says, the ability to implement an idea is more important than the knowledge about it. That is so true. Excuse me, the ability to implement an idea, that means to take action. Many people know a variety of ideas, a variety of concepts, have a lot of knowledge, they know a lot of things. But very few people are able to actually make a decision and take action. If you're making notes, write those 2 words down. Make a decision and take action. That's how you get better results in your life. When I saw The Secret back in 2006, the movie The Secret, I loved it. It changed my life. It really did. But initially, I was also fooled by the idea that, oh, just ask, believe, and receive. Like, I'll just visualize and feel positive and whatever, and it'll just come to me. It doesn't work that way. Even in the silver method, we have certain steps. It says desire, same as Napoleon Hill, by the way, desire, belief, same as Napoleon Hill, have true belief, expectancy. Belief with total conviction creates expectancy automatically that you expect it to happen. The next step is action, and the last step is persist. So it's kind of very similar. Desire, belief, expectancy, action, and persistence or persist. But action is important. So when we want something, it's not just enough for you to have positive thoughts, to visualize, to use whatever affirmations, writing goals, whatever it may be, or in the book, using the formula, the secret in the book. You must take action, and that's the most important. And few people are able to do that. Please hear that. Few people are able to do that. Now, procrastination is probably one of the main reasons that most people aren't satisfied with their life. So if you're not satisfied in any way with your life, it's probably due to you procrastinating here and there in some area, and that's causing the dissatisfaction. Procrastination also means giving up on yourself. When I heard it that way, I thought, hey, that I don't like. Don't give up on yourself ever. Or paying too much attention to other people's opinions about you and possibilities in your life. Don't let other people influence you. Don't worry about what people think about you, and don't care if you get criticism from them or doubts from them. Just block it out and stick to yourself, your own mind, your own thoughts, and your own decisions and your own action. Also, people who procrastinate tend to have the what if question in their mind a lot. What if I did that? What if I did that course? What if I took that action? What if I bought that business? What if I took that idea? What if I invested in that thing? Whatever it may be. So, Napoleon Hill is telling a person that taking action equals making decisions. And remember that everyone has opinions. Even people that shouldn't have opinions have opinions. And the sooner that you get a grasp on that, the faster you can decide not to put up with people whose aim it is in life, their chief aim is to kind of bring you and your dreams down. And that might sound harsh, but it's true. Because often if people haven't done the thing that you're trying to achieve and you tell them, they're going to talk you out of it because they haven't done it. That's why sticking in a like-minded group where people encourage you and believe in you is really what you want to hear all day long. So you have to decide. And once you decide, commit. To what? To yourself. Commit to yourself. That you're going to make your results in your future better. That you're going to create the life of your own design. And what do? Repeat. Why repeat? Because you're going to take more decisions. Take more action. And the more decisive you become, the more successful you become. One of the chapters in Think and Grow Rich is decision. And Napoleon Hill says, successful people make decisions quickly and they hardly ever change them. And unsuccessful people take a long time to make decisions and they keep changing them frequently. Remember that. Decision making is a skill. We can develop it. And it's just about practice. Practice making a decision and taking action. So the 13 principles in the whole book's, the philosophy of Think and Grow Rich, are these 6. So the chapters are from the bottom going up. Desire, we've spoken about. Faith. Auto-suggestion is how you create a new belief. That's self-suggestion. Having specialized knowledge, wonderful chapter. You don't have to have the specialized knowledge. Henry Ford didn't know how to build a motor car engine. He had engineers. But he had desire, he had faith in himself, a higher power that he could create it. And he went and got the specialized knowledge. He hired it. Just mentioning that. Imagination, I've spoken about. Organized planning, very important. And the book helps you create that plan. Decision, that's what I just spoke about. It's a whole chapter. To successful people make decisions and take action. Persistence. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. It's persistence. In the Mastermind Alliance, surround yourself with people. They will help you learn and deepen your learning and practice and application of the philosophy into your life to get the results that you want and support you along the way. Then a most fascinating chapter is the mystery of sex transmutation. I won't go into that now, but basically it's transmuting a drive of energy that we all have. All energy is actually this sex energy, which can be expressed on a physical plane, a mental plane, or a spiritual plane. Now that may sound a bit weird. In the mastermind, we go into this quite deeply, and I also have bonus videos on how to understand this, which comes from different sources of knowledge. And transmutation of sex energy is a phenomenal chapter, and once you understand it, you realize what incredible power you have to understand this flow of energy and how to use it in a higher way. So people who are very spiritual actually have very high sex energy, but they transmute it. People who are very unspiritual and ruin their lives take that energy and all they do is express it on the physical plane. That's what the chapter is about in a nutshell, but much more than that. Just helping you share it. And also mind, when the mind flicks over into the mind of genius, we say someone's a genius, what has happened there? What's happened is they've taken this energy and transmuted it into the higher thinking functions, and that's where the mind of a genius comes out. That's why people invent great things, innovate wonderful things, great engineers or artists or musicians or whatever. People just create. Being very creative is the same energy. And then there's the chapters that I love. I'll put them together. They're so similar, interrelated, and absolutely profound. Is the subconscious mind that drives all our behaviors, that we can impress with anything we want through autosuggestion, the brain, which is a sending and receiving station, and the sixth sense, which is understanding that you get your ideas, which is your first manifestation, from hunches. And those hunches come because we know how to create a new vibration of the same level of the goal we want. Now, that's the 13 principles. When you first study Think and Grow Rich, they seem separate and you have to study them over and over. The book says, study the book 3 times round and then you'll never want to stop. So some people have done Think and Grow Rich Mastermind with me 4 to 5 times. They come back and do it again, the same mastermind. Why? Because they've understood the book's philosophy of continuously studying the book, and that's how your life gets better and better. You just keep changing the goals and going from better to better. Now, even once we've got these 13 principles, there's an additional chapter at the end of the book called Outwitting the 6 Ghosts of Fear. There are 6 fears that hold us back, and we must overcome these fears and eradicate them. All I can say to my friends is fear is your greatest enemy. It's the greatest obstacle in your life holding you back, hands down. There is nothing holding you back more than fear, which is all in here. Okay? Whatever happens out there in the world, you can say, the pandemic is making me fearful. No, the pandemic is the pandemic. How you think about the pandemic is making you fearful because someone else is in the same situation and they don't have fear. It's how we think. So Outwitting the 6 Ghosts of Fear is brilliant. I love that chapter. So that's Think and Grow Rich in a nutshell. Now, I love this. I'm not a product of my circumstances. No, I'm not a victim. I'm a product of my decisions. I'm a product of my actions. So if you want to know how to be a success in life, think about decisions and actions. So indecision, not sure, should I, shouldn't I, leads to inaction. So you don't take any action, nothing changes. And if nothing changes, my friend, you're going backwards in life because the world is continuously going forward and changing and evolving. Look at technology. Look at how the pandemic has changed things. If you're not evolving and keeping up with how to keep up with changes, you're going to become less adaptable, and that's what failure is. On the other hand, if you decide, no, I'm going to be a product of my decisions, and you become a decisive person and you take action, it means that you're going to learn more, you're going to grow more, you're going to expand more. And expansion also comes from lack of fear, because fear is a contracting energy and love is an expanding energy. The more you learn, the more you grow, the more you open, the more you expand, definitely the more you're going to succeed. So it says, For a better tomorrow, you need a definite plan, a process to grow, not an event, not a one-time reading this book, no, a process, which is over the long term, and a group of like-minded people around you. So that's really how you do grow and improve your life. So in summary, thoughts are very powerful. Your thoughts become your life. Win or quit, pick a side. You can't have both. Winners never, ever quit. That's persistence. Third, all achievement, all riches have their beginning in an idea. An idea is the first manifestation. Then desire. Desire is the starting point of all achievement, and it's on you to create a burning desire. Faith is also on you. It's a state of mind. It can be cultivated. It can be induced. It can be created. How? Through the principle of auto-suggestion. That is self-suggestion, and the book tells you how to do that. And then mastermind is if you find yourself weak in persistence, surround yourself with a mastermind group. Oh my goodness, how do I love that? Because there was a time where I felt that was me. But when I was in the mastermind group, which is a principle, and that's why it's in there, you will get all the strength to overcome your fears, to get more confidence, to start believing more in yourself, and to be more persistent because of the help of the Mastermind Alliance. And then the last but not least, decision procrastination. Life rewards action. So become more decisive and you'll become more successful. That's the lesson wrap up for tonight. The good news is, if you want to do Think and Grow Rich as a study, I'm doing a mastermind. It is the most wonderful mastermind, and I'd say the most necessary mastermind for anyone to do, because this is the greatest, in my view, personal development book ever written. It is so rich, it is so deep, it is so much content in here. You can study it for a lifetime, and successful people do study it for their lifetime, and it makes a difference. So I always say, when opportunity knocks, what are you going to do? Open the door or not open the door? So it's up to you. Anyway, let's talk about the mastermind. It's an 8-week mastermind. We get together for 2 hours a week from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and we study the book Think and Grow Rich. Now, the beautiful thing about it is my mentor, Paul Martinelli, who I did my first mastermind with, wrote the book, The Epilogue to Think and Grow Rich. Discover the 3 missing principles from the classic publication by Napoleon Hill. The 3 key principles, these missing principles, the 3 missing chapters are in this. If you do the mastermind with me, I'm going to give you what these 3 principles are for free as bonus videos. You'll get them, and I'll talk about these 3 principles in bonus videos for every one of the 13 principles in Think and Grow Rich. So throughout the mastermind, whatever chapter we're on, you'll get a bonus video with bonus content from other authors. Let's say Wayne Dyer, Jose Silva, Dr. Thurman Fleet, whoever the other additional knowledge is from, plus infused with that, again, reinforcing the 3 missing chapters throughout the book. Because there's a secret in Think and Grow Rich. It's in the very, very first introductory chapter that there's a secret in the book. But there's a secret to uncovering the secret, or there's a secret to making the secret work in your life. So you may know the secret, apply it, and wonder why you don't get certain results. It's because of the 3 missing chapters. So when you apply the 3 missing principles, the secret is unlocked like a floodgate, and the results flow. So that's what we share in that. So it starts on the 11th of January. The bonus is the book which I just mentioned. You also get free access to the bonus videos, which I've just mentioned. You also get a workbook as part of the mastermind, plus a free copy of the Think and Grow Rich original text. Because every book, even this one, is not the original text. Something's slightly changed here and there, and there's 100 versions of Think and Grow Rich. There's so many versions of the book. You'll get a copy of the original text with line numbers. So in the mastermind, we can refer to your line number, and all of us are literally on the same page. And you also get a WhatsApp group, which you can connect to, and you really do help and support each other. So the price is $4.99 per person for the 8 weeks. If you'd like to join with a family member or your child or even a relative, you can add an additional family member for $1.99, and they can do the mastermind with you. They get whatever you get, plus them. So that's it from me. If you'd like to join, please head to my website, which is JanineShakaInternational.com. Go to events, and Think and Grow Rich is there. And you can sign up for the mastermind, or otherwise contact me any which way you want. And then whatever's coming up next is February's Meaningful Monday. I'll be talking about dealing with adversity. That will be the topic for next month. And also, if anyone would like to do the Silver Method, which is a 4-day dynamic meditation program, the next class I have, the first class of 2022, is, I said 21 there. Let me just, whoops. I stopped sharing. I do apologize. Let me just quickly fix that, or just ignore that 2021. It's meant to say 2022. Here we go. There we go. Fixed. Okay. And it's from the 17th to the 20th of February. That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 4-day immersion. Is it live or online? If there are no restrictions, it's live. If there are and we can't meet, it's online. How do I know now? I don't know now. Time will tell. But the class will be going ahead. If you're thinking about your child in the Silver Method, 2 things. Anyone who's over 8 years of age can do the Silver Method. I've done many students who are children before. And the other thing is, the children do better in the adults class. I sometimes run a Silver Kids, which is actually only half the program. It's Silver Life System only, not Silver Life and Intuition System. However, kids do better in the adult class. For whatever reason, I don't know, but they perform better, they retain more, they're more participative, and they get results, and they actually, after the course, apply them better than if they come to the kids class. Don't know why, I'm just letting you know that it is what it is. One of the benefits of doing the Silver Method is you get free review, unlimited for the rest of your life. All you pay is a nominal seat charge, but otherwise your tuition is free for the rest of your life. I don't know any other program on the planet that offers you free review, unlimited for your lifetime. And why? Because we really want you to improve your life. All right, it's now time for a guided meditation, which I always do. So what I'd like you to do now is just grab yourself a pen and paper. I'm going to pause this for just a few seconds. So if you haven't got a pen and paper, just pause the video and go and grab yourself a pen and paper. Then what I'd like you to do is just find yourself a comfortable position. And let's say you had a sheet of paper, just kind of sit in the most easy way with it on your lap and meditate. And then I'm first going to, if you're new, just to let you know what's going to happen, just make you relax from head to toes. Just follow the instructions like a fractional relax. You're going to imagine a white waterfall of light, just kind of clearing your energy, and then it'll turn to green light, which is unconditional love. And once you've reset your mind and your body, we're then going to set your intention for the first month of the year. And I ask you just 3 or 4 questions, and that's where you come to write. So you just stay with your eyes closed in the meditation. After I've asked the question, for example, what is your intention for the month ahead? First impressions, just write anything down. Don't analyze anything, don't question it, just write down your first impressions. By the time you've relaxed and got to the point that I ask them, your answers will come from intuition. They won't come from your logical mind, your left brain. And that's the whole purpose. Then I'll ask you 1 or 2 other questions, like what steps you should take to get closer to what you want, and what you should release, whatever that may be, like fear or anger or something that's holding you back, whatever it may be. And you just write down your first impressions to those answers. And then what I want to say is trust the answers that you get. All right, so if you're ready, we're going to meditate now. It's going to be about 15 minutes or less. So just relax, make yourself comfortable now. Find yourself a comfortable position. And let's just change the screen to something a bit darker. There we go. And I may just put my video off and put the music on. So find a comfortable position, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, allow all tensions and ligament pressures release and float away, and just relax. Take another deep belly breath in. And just really let go as you exhale, as if you're blowing out a candle, like blow out of from your mouth. So go. Take a nice deep breath in like that. And as you exhale, just begin to feel your body relaxing. Feel the tension leaving your scalp, your forehead, your eyes. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your tongue and jaw. Take another deep breath in and just exhale and relax. Now relax your neck, your shoulders, arms and hands, all the way down to your fingertips. As you take a nice deep breath in, as you exhale, relax your chest. Feel yourself relaxing more and more. Now take another deep belly breath in your lower belly, and as you exhale, just relax your abdomen. Relax your hips and pelvic area. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your feet all the way down to your toes. Keeping your eyes closed, continue to breathe deeply, slowly and rhythmically. You are now experiencing a deep state of relaxation. It's a wonderful feeling to be deeply relaxed. Now you're going to create in your mind your ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, somewhere you've been or somewhere you'd like to go, and allow it to be a place where you feel totally relaxed. Begin to experience your ideal place of relaxation now. Now that you have created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light into the scene. Place it wherever you choose. The waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under the cascading white light. The light is a healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of white light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the white, healing light. Allow the white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. Feel it clearing all the stress, tension, and clutter away. Not just of the past week or month or year, but feel it clearing away the stress, tension, and clutter of your entire lifetime. Clearing all the stress and tension from your energy field, from your atmosphere, from your aura. And as the light clears your energy field, just notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. See how the weights that you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need is to close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in the healing white light. Now, take a deep breath, relax deeper, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts bring me benefits I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind that from now on, I will occasionally be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. Now imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. All those hurts you felt, all those pains you felt, the angry moments, allow this green light, this unconditional love, to heal all those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered and energized. You are able to think more clearly, focus more easily. You are in the flow of universal love and energy. Just enjoy this feeling of connectedness. You have now reset your body and mind for the month. It is now time to set your intention for the month. So now, as you are relaxed, you will tune into your inner wisdom, your higher self, the part of you that, if you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. Just relax and trust yourself and your first impressions. You are in alignment with your higher self right now. You are connected. So stay relaxed. And as I ask you these questions, just write down your first impressions, whatever comes to mind. The first question: what do I need to focus on for the month ahead? Write down anything that comes to mind, and then take a deep breath, close your eyes, and re-enter the meditation. What do I need to focus on for the month ahead? Next question: what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. What steps do I need to take? That includes decisions and actions. What decision and actions do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Whatever comes to mind, just write it down. And take a deep breath, close your eyes, and re-enter the meditation and relax. Next question. What do I need to let go of? Write down anything that comes to mind as you ask, what do I need to let go of? And allow a deep breath and relax. And the last question, is there anything else? That means, is there anything else I need to do or need to know, need to act on, need to decide on? Is there anything else? Now just allow a deep breath and relax. Slowly bring your attention back to your body. Gently wriggle your fingers and your toes. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. At the count of 3, you'll open your eyes, be wide awake, feeling fine and in perfect health, feeling better than before. 1, 2, coming out slowly now. 3, eyes open, wide awake, feeling fine and in perfect health, feeling better than before. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of Meaningful Monday. Thank you so much for listening, for being part of this, and more importantly, thank yourself for the investment that you made in the time to do the right thing by you. Just taking an hour, hour and a half out for yourself, and whatever answers came to you during that meditation, I want you to know that you can trust those answers. When you're in a relaxed state and your first impressions you note down, that's most often, I'm probably right when I say it, your intuition, your higher self guiding you. So trust those answers and most importantly, act on them. It's really not a good thing to do if we ever get guidance and we don't follow the guidance. So take the answers that you received as guidance and with gratitude, act on the guidance and, take action on whatever came to you there. So otherwise, I want to thank you very much for being part of Meaningful Monday. I hope it was a valuable lesson on the simple yet profound lessons from Think and Grow Rich. And if you want to deepen your understanding of Think and Grow Rich and apply it in your life and see how the results can change for you, then please join my mastermind. I'd love to have you join. Just contact me or go to the website, JanineSharkinternational.com, and go to events, and you'll find it there. Just book yourself in before the 11th of January. And for all of you who want to do Think and Grow Rich, we do have a challenge when we begin the exercise. And the challenge is to read the chapter on persistence every day for 14 days. And there's a very, very, very valuable lesson in that alone, just doing that exercise, how it will change you and your level of persistence, which is the determining factor for success. Remember, winners never quit. So persistence is actually something we need to really understand the value of it. And that chapter is profound when it talks about persistence, and how better to learn about it than to read it every day for 14 days to not only test your persistence, but to deepen your learning of the principle of persistence. So that's it from me. Have a wonderful month ahead. God bless you. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday, the first Monday in February, for the next Meaningful Monday. Bye-bye.